Today is the International Day of the Girl Child, a day set aside by the United Nations to support the plight of over 1.1 billion girls worldwide. The day aims to highlight the fact that too many girls around the world have their potential and dreams thwarted by violence, discrimination, and inequality. This year's theme is Girls' Progress equals Goals Progress, a global girl data movement. Against this backdrop, world leaders are calling for action in increasing the availability and analysis of girl-focused data. And here in Nigeria, the plight of the girl child cannot be swept under the carpet, as many across the country are still deprived of their rights. Now, to take this discussion further on News Across Nigeria, I'm joined in the studios by a girl child advocate and program director, Child Health Advocacy Initiative, Mrs. Lola Alunge. You're welcome to News Across Nigeria.
Thank you. My pleasure being here.
We've heard of Nigeria observes international days of this, that, and the other. But the International Day of the Girl Child, how significant is this to Nigeria?
Well, International Day of the Girl Child is a day set aside to actually celebrate our girls, to highlight the issues affecting the girl child, to see how we can focus on what we can do to improve the plight of the girl child. And I'm happy with the theme for this year, Girls' Progress, Global Progress, linking it to the Sustainable Development Goals. This is what world leaders have come together to say by 2013, we must be able to achieve these goals. And linking it to girls, well, I think that's just the best. Looking at Goal 4, for example, that's access to education. How well have we fared in this? The Nigerian child, do they have access to good education? Especially in the northeast of Nigeria, when we look at what is happening there, most of the girls are to be seen are not heard. They are not allowed to be in school. Looking at Goal 5, gender equality. How are we looking at this? We're looking at issues like discrimination, violence against women and girls. Goal 3, for example, access to good health. How are we looking at this in Nigeria? Do our young girls have access to good health? I think this is just the best time to refocus and look at what can be done to improve the plight of the girl child in Nigeria.
How would you therefore assess the government's handling of the girl child?
Well, I think a lot still has to be done.
The protection of the rights of the girl child.
Exactly. The rights are linked with the Sustainable Development Goals as well.
Right.
Maybe I'll start with access to good education. The statistics in Nigeria now shows about 10.5 million children are out of school, and most of them are girls. That's what is happening in the Northeast. As we speak, many girls are not in school in the Northeast, even in other states. That's why we can see our girls going into things like prostitution. Looking at access to good health.
Sorry to interrupt. How much of it is religion or tradition and custom-based caused?
Yes, obviously.
There's a fine line, we know, between the traditions and customs
obviously, when we look at it, they say, okay, maybe the girls are not supposed to be educated. That's one fact.
Do you find that as a problem?
It's part of the problem, but I think the government can do a lot about that. There are laws in place. We have the child rights law, which gives them access to education. So there's no reason for anybody to hold on to any culture or tradition that the girls won't be in school. With the laws in place, the girls should be able to go to school. That means the government must do everything to enforce the laws in the states. And for the states that have not passed the law, the girls they should pass it so that the girls can be in school. Looking at even issues like child marriage, that is also linked to education. Most times they're like, okay, you don't have any business being in school, you need to get married. And that's like really, really affecting this country. I feel a little bit sad because it's like we are not too sure, we are not taking the issue of the girl child so serious. Why? The girl is the one that brings up the children of the family. The girl is the one that will grow up to be a mother. If that girl is not protected, if she doesn't have access to good education, access to good health, then what kind of children is she going to bring up? We're talking about a nation. Sorry to use the word, a broken nation. God will make us prosper in Nigeria. And I sat down one day and I felt so bad. What has the women, the mothers, what have they done? They brought up these children. The children make up the nation. They're the people there. What have we really fared well? Have we protected these children from bad? Have they been able to have access to education? Have they been able to have access to good education? Are we giving them out and marry? Are we supporting child marriage? Are we supporting prostitution? Are we imbibing the right values in these children? The mothers, the family has a lot of role to play, but the government must also do their own part.
You mentioned child marriage. You preempted me in that, but which is good because that's a girl-child marriage, which is it could be a thorny issue depending on what part of the country you're from, and also child labor issues. Do you think, or how do you think the government should take a firm position, irrespective of whatever factors that may speak to the contrary.
The good thing is we have the laws in place in Nigeria, which means every child must be in school. For example, in Lagos State, we have nobody must be found hawking around and things like that. So it must be enforced throughout the states, which means every child must be in school. There shouldn't be any excuse like you have to get married, or there's a get-rich story somewhere, you need to go abroad and go and be whatever you want to be there in these guys. And then they have to protect their rights, especially in the area of discrimination. A situation where a girl child is seen as inferior from the home, from the family. The boys are protected. The girl grows up with that mindset, and she's not able to assert herself.
Let me paint a scenario for you very quickly. Of home where there are girls and boys, and not enough money to send both to school, and the parents decide to send the boy to school.
That's exactly what happens.
Discrimination.
Exactly, that's what I'm going to. They believe the girl is going to be married off one way or the other, and that's really affecting us. The nation is made up of 50% of women, and women have a great role to play, like we have highlighted now, in bringing up the family. So when you don't allow them to fulfill their potential in life, and you keep on saying the men, the boys, then where will the girl be? And that goes to what I'm trying to say, even violence. They go through a lot of sexual violence, even in the home, even out of the home. The cases of rape. They go through a lot of cases of discrimination, sexual abuse, rape, even from parents or families and things like that. And then it brings the issue of harmful traditional practices, which is part of what we're talking about in Goal 5. It is gender equality, where girls should not be made to go through traditional practices that are not beneficial to them. For example, I bring in the issue of the female genital mutilation, which is one of the issues we are campaigning about. It's like done for girls for non-health reasons. It's just a culture and a tradition, and it harms them. A lot of them go through bleeding, they die in the process, they get infection through HIV/AIDS, and it has even been proven now that 10% of the world population of those who have gone through FGM are in Nigeria. The world population of girls that have gone through FGM is about 200 million, and we have 20 million in Nigeria. That statistics was just revealed a day ago by a body called 200. And yes, which is quite staggering and not the best for Nigeria.
Listen to a quick. The 150 Nigerians who we just saw that report on Channel Television. We just played it for you. Deported from Libya, as it were, because they didn't have papers. Many of that number were women. Some were sex trafficked, labor trafficked. And many of them were women. How can this be managed?
A lot has to be done. We have said, even globally, 70% of those into trafficking are mostly females, and that is what we are seeing in Nigeria. Because, well, we may say the government, the economy is not good enough, but of course the problem still goes back to the families. From the stories I hear, it's the family, it's the society, encouraging some of them. From what I heard now, so I'm saying my friend told me they give them wrong impression about what is over there, but I think our girls should be up and doing and be more focused. There's no greener pasture anywhere. They should believe in themselves and believe they can make it in this country.
We certainly hope that groups like yours will help in that enlightenment. Thank you so much, but we have to stop there.
Thank you.
Mrs. Lola Alunga is a girl child advocate and program director, Child Health Advocacy Initiative.